The story of Moses, the man chosen by God. A long time ago, in the land of Egypt, the people of Israel, also called the Hebrews, were slaves. The Egyptians forced them to work very hard, building cities and doing heavy labor. But even under harsh treatment, the Hebrew people continued to grow in number. This frightened Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. To stop their growth, Pharaoh gave a cruel order. Every baby boy born to the Hebrews must be thrown into the Nile River. But one brave Hebrew mother hid her baby for 3 months. When she could hide him no longer, she placed him in a basket made of reeds and set it afloat on the Nile. Pharaoh's own daughter came to bathe in the river and saw the basket. When she opened it, the baby was crying. She felt sorry for him and decided to raise him as her own. She named him Moses, which means drawn out of the water. Moses grew up in the palace with all the riches of Egypt, but he knew he was a Hebrew. One day he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. In anger, Moses killed the Egyptian. Afraid of being punished, he fled to the land of Midian, where he became a shepherd and married a woman named Zipporah. One day, while tending his sheep, Moses saw something strange, a bush that was on fire, but not burning up. As he got closer, he heard the voice of God calling.
Moses, Moses.
God told Moses he had seen the suffering of his people in Egypt and wanted Moses to go to Pharaoh and lead the Israelites out of slavery. Moses was afraid and said he wasn't the right man for the job. But God promised to be with him. Moses returned to Egypt and, with his brother Aaron, went to Pharaoh and said,
"Let my people go."
But Pharaoh refused. So God sent 10 plagues to punish Egypt. Water turned to blood, frogs, gnats, flies, disease, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, and finally the death of every firstborn Egyptian. The Israelites were protected from the final plague by putting lamb's blood on their doorposts. This became known as the Passover. After the 10th plague, Pharaoh finally let the Israelites go. But soon he changed his mind and chased after them with his army. When the Israelites reached the Red Sea, they were trapped. But God told Moses to raise his staff over the sea, and the waters parted, forming walls of water on each side. The Israelites walked through on dry ground. When Pharaoh's army followed, the waters closed in and swept them away. Moses led the people through the desert. They often complained, "We have no food, we have no water." But God provided manna, bread from heaven, quail, and water from a rock. At Mount Sinai, God called Moses to the top of the mountain and gave him the 10 Commandments laws for the people to follow. The mountain shook with fire and thunder as God spoke. But when Moses came down, the people had made a golden calf and were worshiping it. Moses was heartbroken and broke the stone tablets. Later, God gave him a new set of tablets. Moses led the people for 40 years through the wilderness, teaching them to trust and obey God. But because of one act of disobedience, God told Moses he would not enter the promised land. From a mountain, Moses saw the land from afar before he died. Moses is remembered as a great leader, lawgiver, and prophet. God used him to deliver his people, show his power, and prepare the way for the promised land. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel.